Hello, my dear students and friends. I welcome you all on my YouTube channel, Talks on Homeopathy. Today, we are going to discuss medicine, all of our favorite Natrum Muriaticum. And in this series of lectures, I am going to discuss about different aspects of Natrum Mur explained by different authors. Today, I am going to explain the explanation given by Dr. George Vidulkar in his book Essence of Materia Medica. The first thing that Sir has explained is vulnerable in emotional activity. Vulnerable means they are very easily affected by any kind of emotional changes like rejection, ridicules, humiliation, or grief, and all those kind of emotional impressions will be intolerable to Natrum patient. Either it is a real or a kind of a imaginary. They avoid being hurt at all cost. The Natrum avoids the emotional hurting, and for that they opt a different kind of steps, so they would not get hurt or do not hurt anyone. The emotional sensitivity is there, so they are very sensitive for emotions, any kind of emotions, either their own or for the others, and also having the sense of responsibility related to emotional aspect. The next feature is the sympathetic behavior. They internally absorb the pain or emotional disturbance of others, and however they are going to dwell on those kind of experiences. Because of that sympathetic nature, the Netramure is going to opt a kind of a occupations who deals with emotional traumas towards the person or a patient. They dwell on that particular part, that how I would react in such situations, what I am going to do, how I am going to tackle these situations, and just all these are imaginary. And whenever they are going to hurt those things from other person, so they think or dwell whenever they are going to get the time or whenever they are going to become alone. The next thing is they enjoy receiving affection from others, but they're never going to express this. So they inwardly expect the emotional attractions, but they are never going to express or they're never going to demand those emotional attachments. They are so sensitive that they feel hurt by slightest comment or gesture that might imply ridicule or rejection. Ridicule means to make a fun or to laugh at someone. So they are very sensitive. If you make somewhat of fun of that Netramure person, they are going to become sensitive. They feel hurt why you are making fun of them. And also they are having fear or anxiety about rejections. And that's why Netramure adolescents reluctant for date because of fear of rejection. Even imagine slights can cause suffering. After being hurt several times, they learn to become cautious. So it is going to become some vicious cycle for Netramute person, that initially they are not going to get any kind of hurt, any kind of emotional trauma, and that's why they are not going to indulge themselves into any kind of relationship. Still, they are demanding that thing, and whenever they are going to have any kind of attachment, they feel any kind of trauma from that attachment, and then they are going to become a kind of a sufferer. After that incident, they are going to learn something from that, and they next time they are going to behave in a cautious manner. Next is they can become quite content in their isolation. So it is a another reflection of not being hurt by anything, that if you are not going to have any kind of connection or contact with outer world, no one is going to hurt you. So the only outcome of contactless from outer world is isolation. So they are going to become self-contained, desiring to solve problems by themselves without trusting help from other people. Okay, so in this whole process, in whole isolation, they are going to become less trust. They are going to develop less trust on other people. So this is going to become a habitual behavior of an introvert person, that they are going to seek isolation. They face every problem, every challenges on their own, and they try to find out their problems on their own. Gradually, they come to the point of not needing contact with the outside world. Okay, so day by day or with some ongoing time, they are going to think that they never or they don't require any contact or any person in their life. If someone tries to intrude upon their private or introverted world, they may feel resentful. So if you try to intrude in their isolation or in their world, so they are going to become resentful, or they will become angry, or they behave in some negative manner. And the primary concern in life becomes not to hurt and not to be hurt by anyone. Next, the children are usually quite well behaved. It is not necessary to severely discipline them, because a mere glance conveying disapproval will suffice. The first one aspect of children who are having the trait or a personality of Natrum Muriaticum is they are well behaved, well disciplined, and you are not supposed to explain anything regarding this discipline or obeying behavior. You just look at them and they are going to understand. Okay, and that's why there is a one statement given by so many authors that they are very mature and responsible person. So it shows a maturity of a child, that he uh, understands what you are asking by just looking or just giving glance on them. The another aspect of the child is the hysterical tendency. The children is seen readily when they are severely reprimanded. They then react to an extreme degree, falling on the floor in a tantrums, kicking and screaming. Consolation or reassurance are of no avail, and many and may actually make them worse. They will continue with the tantrum until they themselves decide to stop. So this is another aspect of natural child. So if you, whenever you reprimand or whenever you scold or whenever you say something to them, now they are going to have outburst of emotions in an extreme degree. They are going to kick the floor, kick the walls, or they are going to throw something on some bystanders or etc. And they are going to scream and cry. No consolation ameliorates, nothing, no assurance is going to ameliorate, and then they are going to stop whenever they want to stop. Nothing can stop in those expressions. Adolescents of this type are likely to be quiet and withdrawn. Silent grief outburst into hysterical behavior, vulnerable to external impressions. Okay, so child are going to give you a lots of expressions or lots of outbursts, but adolescents are going to learn how to control those emotional outbursts. So most of the time they are going to have a controlled behavior. So they will, whenever you reprimand them or whenever something bad will happen, they are going to become quiet and withdrawn. So they will feel isolation, they will opt isolation, or somewhat of a like to be alone. The silent grief outbursts into hysterical behavior. Now, many a times the grief is going to outburst into hysterical behavior when the patient is again going to express the anger, tantrums, some kind of a behavior or some words. Those are not going to be expressed at that level or at that moment, and they are also vulnerable to external impression. Means they are very easily to catch up the external impressions into a very higher level, and that's why the symptoms are there. They are very sensitive to noise, sensitive to touch, sensitive to some kind of external impressions. The experiences a severe rejection or grief, retires to his room, puts on a saddest music and he can find. The music is not designed to alleviate the depression, but rather to add to it. He allows he wallows in the depression. If one thing has gone wrong, he exaggerates everything out of all proportion. He allows no one to help. He tries to solve the problem within himself. Eventually, when the depression begins to pass, he regains a more appropriate perspective on life, and music will at that point relieve the remnants of the depression. Now, the Vidulkas sir has explained the whole incidents or scenario over here. So, whenever they are going to feel any kind of problem, rejection, or emotional trauma, they are going to opt isolation. They will find some kind of a very saddest music. They are going to listen that. The music is not going to relieve the thing, but still they like to hear that song or some music. They dwell on that particular part, the things on again and again, कि why happened, why this happened to him, what they are going to, what mistake they made, what they are going to do in future, all that. And then they are going to have some kind of a solution, or some, whenever the proportion of grief is going to become lesser and lesser, they come out from that particular phase, regains that particular thing, and again listens that music, and on that level, last level, the music is going to become some kind of a soothing mechanism. Okay, so sir writes at the end of this thing is that music aggravates also and ameliorates also according to the situations. Yeah. This state is called as a, in many books, many by many author, is a repression stage. So it is not a depression, it is a repression. When patient feels some bad thing, when patient experiences some bad thing, he thinks on that, dwells on that, tries to find out solution, and comes out with a positive manner and opts a positive thing, and after that he again starts the same incidences or same experience in life. Natrum patient is objective as long as control over the emotions is maintained. So initially they are going to have control over the emotions, but when emotional control breaks down, the patient becomes irrational and the emotional fear rules everything. So initially the control, after that the control is going to vanish away and the emotional outbursts are going to appear. They will feel claustrophobia, fear of closed places, occurs a rigidification and emotional and mental planes. So they are going to become rigid. You can have some kind of obstinacy in behavior, fixed ideas in behavior. Things are seen in terms of good or bad, right or wrong, correct, incorrect, practical or impractical. The compulsive control mechanisms break down completely and person openly expresses everything which previously had been disallowed. They become shameless, exhibitionist, speak in obscenities, etc. So in the final stage, Natrum patients do not usually lose mental control to the point of developing full-blown insanity, but shameless behavior may occur. So it is a pre-stage of insanity and post-stage of shamelessness. So when they are going to become more outburst in nature, they will expresses everything. So whenever you try to find out the attribute personality, according to Vidulkas sir, you have to see the whole evolution whenever the incidents occurred, after that how patient had behaved, and at different phases what are the person's or patient's expression and behavior. So in last stage you will feel a somewhat of a resemblance symptoms of a Alzheimer's, stramonium and belladonna and all your maniacal or insane medicines. So you are going to get some kind of confusion if the patient is going to approach in that last stage. And that's why many a times we always advise that you have to take a history with a full detail of the incidences and not just what you are seeing or what the patient is represented on a one stage of a particular life. Okay, so this is all about Natrum Mur, the main features given by Dr. Vidul Kasser. We are going to have more discussion and more detailed symptoms of personality of Natrum Mur, referring a different stalwarts and authors in later stages. Thank you very much.